Hello, my name is Jacob Fuqua, and today we're going to be looking at unethical behavior of educators. This assignment is assignment 13 in the Instructional Leadership 564 course at Jacksonville State University. The course is titled Law and Ethics and is taught by Dr. William Kaiser. Within this course, we have looked at the laws and ethics that schools must maintain, abide by, to maintain their professionalism, and to make sure that the school is actually a place of learning and growth and development for students. Specifically for today, we're looking at unethical behavior. Educators in Alabama have a code of ethics that they must follow. If they do not follow that, it can lead to them being dismissed or fired, and possible prison time depending on the severity of what they did. Specifically today, we're going to be looking at cheating on state exams, the inappropriate use of social media, and having or soliciting sexual actions with students. Now, the first big unethical behavior is cheating on state exams. There was a very large case at the end of the early 2000s that dealt with the Atlanta Public Schools, more specifically Fulton County School District. They had a very large cheating scandal. An investigation occurred, and it found that from 2001 to 2009, cheating had occurred, according to FAMS 2015. From that investigation, there were 35 educators within the Fulton County School District that were indicted on charges for racketeering. 20 of those reached a plea deal, and 15 of those were sentenced for racketeering or lesser crimes. Now, there's a lot of issues with the Atlanta Public School cheating scandal. One is that it basically diminishes all the progress that good educators in Atlanta did during that time. There were some educators that actually did show growth, and they were very beneficial to the students, and the students actually learned and performed better, but that was all overshadowed by the cheating that occurred. Now, another thing is how will that scandal affect the rest of the country? When you have such a large school system like the Fulton County School District, and such a large cheating scandal occurred for many years, how will that look on the rest of the country? Now, what situations will happen for the people in the rest of the country to sit there and look and realize, oh, hey, cheating might occur? A former Fairfax County, Virginia superintendent, Daniel Dominic, I hope I said that right, claimed that any good turnaround in education will be viewed as suspicion of cheating, according to Maxwell 2013. And he is absolutely right in that case, or in that argument. Any progress that is made in a short amount of time, it will now be viewed as cheating. There are processes that happen, there are things that happen, but any progress will now be viewed as cheating, thanks to the Atlanta Public Schools cheating scandal. An example of that actually occurred in Birmingham, Alabama. Wilkerson Middle School in Birmingham, Alabama, principal Jennifer Lott was suspected of cheating on state tests. She was placed on administrative leave while an investigation was ongoing, according to Kane 2023. Now, she was suspected of cheating because of she used to be a principal at Oliver Elementary in Birmingham, Alabama. They had very good test scores. She was very productive. She got a promotion to a middle school because they wanted the middle school to be productive as well. They thought that she had left her impact there at the elementary school and that they could sustain without her. When she left, the elementary school's test scores dropped significantly, math being the largest drop in the entire state of Alabama, according to Kane 2023. In her first year at Wilkerson Middle School, test scores rose significantly and by 36% in math, according to Kane 2023. Now, the issue with this is, did the Atlanta cheating scandal have an influence in Lott being placed on administrative leave? The answer to that, I believe, is yes, it did, but it might not have been a direct cause of it. The thing with the Atlanta cheating scandal, you see huge amounts of growth, and you realize it's cheating. Okay, well now, Miss Lott was the principal at Oliver Elementary School. they had great test scores or productive test scores. Then when she left, they dropped significantly. When she went to the new middle school, their test scores rose significantly. So they had a huge change. Okay, and because of that change, it was suspected that Miss Lott was cheating on the state standardized test. Another unethical behavior is the inappropriate use of social media. Now, with these examples that we're going to talk about, they're more so examples of educators' inappropriate use. Not so much as talking to students, but what educators did or did not do for social media. Now, for me in particular, I'm a younger educator. So I grew up with social media. I grew up with it. I know how to work it. I know how to access it. I do not use it very often because I am an educator and I know how things can be viewed from the public to an educator. So I don't really use it that much. But these two cases that we're about to look at, they did not really care, or they didn't understand how to use social media and cared, but also did not care about their viewpoint or what they were posting. The first one is a Massachusetts educator, June Talvidi Sipley, was forced to resign from her Facebook post in August of 2010. In her Facebook post, she made comments saying that students were germ bags and that parents were snobby and arrogant, according to ABC News 2010. She claimed that she thought that her posts were private, that it could only be viewed as to her friends and that nobody else could see it. Well, little did she know that they were public. Parents, and you can assume students as well, saw it, and they reported it to the superintendent, and the superintendent asked for her resignation. The main thing with social media is her comments were damaging to the school's reputation. Not only that, but it ended up putting a negative spotlight, and it could have had further consequences depending on how the public perceived her comments. Specifically, when I thought of germ bags, I thought of, okay, well, what is occurring in the school? If students are germ bags, meaning they have a lot of germs, they got a lot of diseases, sickness. Okay, is there an epidemic going on at the school? Is there a pandemic that started at the school? Like what is going on there? And that could have struck fear into the community, and they could have boycotted the school, and it could have had much more consequences than simply her being asked to resign. That's one thing you got to watch out for on social media. The other is there's a fine line between parents' relationship with administrators in the school, and with an administrator calling parents snobby and arrogant, that pretty much violates that fine line. She definitely stepped over that line with those comments. She gave reasons to why she used the word snobby and arrogant, but at the end of the day, as an educator, you can't sit there and say that parents are snobby and arrogant to Facebook, because people are going to see it, and you're going to create a lot of controversy within your community. Now, another situation of inappropriate use of social media happened when Nkechi Diallo was fired for violating Catalina Foothills School District social media policy, according to Zena Rosa 2024. Now, this incident can be seen as social media, but it also can be seen as sexual acts with students. Currently, there is something out there called OnlyFans. I'm not really going to get into it, but it's just very inappropriate material for students. Diallo posted a link to her social media outlets, a link to her OnlyFans account, which is viewed by the public. Presumably parents and students viewed that link, potentially could have viewed her OnlyFans account, and that in itself can create a lot of issues. Catalina Foothills specifically, they had a social media policy in place it stated that it prohibits staff from using school resources or their professional positions to promote personal business that are not aligned with the school's educational mission. For this case in particular, OnlyFans is a way to make money. So with her posting the link to her OnlyFans account, it, one, promoted her personal business, but it also was not aligned with the district's educational mission. If you know what OnlyFans are, you probably understand where I'm getting at. Diallo violated that policy and was therefore fired. So because she posted something on social media that can potentially be seen as a sexual content, she violated her district's social media policy, therefore she was fired for it. Now, I kind of saved the worst for last. Best for last, I kind of call this the worst for last. Sexual actions with students. Now, this is far too often seen throughout the United States, and this is by far the most unethical behavior, in my personal opinion. Here in the state of Alabama, in 2024, so far we have had multiple cases of teachers engaging in sexual actions with students. One of the first cases in 2024 came from an Auburn high school teacher, Willie Hutchinson. In January, he was convicted on multiple sex crimes, according to Barry and Collins, 2024. Hutchinson ended up being charged with 2 counts of, in Alabama, our law states that a school employee engaged in sexual intercourse or sodomy with a student under the age of 19, according to Barry and Collins, 2024. His sentencing, he was sentenced to 20 years. There was 5 years for each charge and 10 years probation. So 10 years in jail, 10 years probation afterwards. Now with this, in Alabama in particular, if you're charged with this, you will your teaching license will be revoked. You will lose your job. If you have tenure, it will be gone. And pretty much you will be a stain on the community. One of the things that really gets me about the Hutchinson case is that the actions happened on school grounds. A school is a place of learning. A school is a place of safety and security for a lot of students. And to do something like that on school grounds, you not only disobey the law, but you're violating that safety and security that a lot of students feel. That's one of the main things about this case, other than the obvious fact that he had sexual actions with students. But it's just very unethical, and in my opinion, is the worst of the behaviors. In a very similar case, in April 2024, there was a Tuscaloosa County High School employee, Lorenzo Freeman Jr. He was also arrested and charged with a Class B felony, according to Taylor 2024. In this case, Class B felony is specifically a charge of a school employee having sexual contact with a student under the age of 19, according to Taylor 2024. Now, since that happened in April, it's currently the beginning of June, so Freeman has not been sentenced yet, but being in the same state as the Hutchinson case, you can assume that he would have a very similar sentence. So he'd probably have 5 years in jail for the charge and then a probationary period depending on the judge. Now, sexual acts with students in Alabama will warrant you being fired. It will give you prison time. And like I said earlier, you will be a stain on the community. The thing with sexual actions with students is have some common sense. I mean, you're an adult, they're children. You're supposed to educate them, not take advantage of them. A school is a place of growth. It's a place of nurturing. It's a place of development. It's not a place to exploit students for your undesirable or unwanted desires. So to summarize, these were 3 very brief things about unethical behaviors. There are plenty more out there that you can research and look up on your own. Basically, with unethical behavior of teachers, just maintain ethics and morality. Unethical behavior happens when teachers lose sight of the importance of education. We are there to help grow students' knowledge and to give them skills to take on life's rigorous tasks. When educators end up losing sight of that, then they dive into unethical behaviors. Whatever reasons they want to give, they're all the wrong reasons. Unethical behaviors lead to termination of your job, lead to possible jail time. They destroy success and progress of great educators who are trying to do it for the right reasons. Educators have to maintain a professionalism. They have to maintain ethics and morality. And it's really just the views between right and wrong. I mean, you can kind of think about it as the old thing, or the old saying of what would your mother think of that? What would your father, what would your grandmother think of that? Unethical behaviors are not wanted in public schools. They're not needed in any schools. We have a job to, as educators, we have a job to educate and to develop and to grow. There are times for nurturing, but we want to give students the skills for them to be successful outside of the school. And the school needs to be a place, a safe haven for a lot of kids, where they can escape their whatever traumas they face, whatever demons they deal with. It needs to be a safe place, and any unethical behavior within a school is unnecessary. It's not wanted. It needs to stay out, and we just, as educators, need to continue to strive to do the right thing and to be moral, to be ethical, and to maintain those values and promote those values. Now, for all the information that I presented in this short video, here are the references for them. There are multiple articles here, and there are multiple other articles throughout the internet and databases that you can find that will help you to view and create your own thoughts about different unethical behaviors of educators, and to hopefully help educate somebody to not do those, unethical behaviors, and to maintain their ethics and morality. I hope this was very informational for some of you if you are watching, and I hope you all have a great day.